If you're someone who overthinks everything, you've probably been told to just stop thinking so much, or you're making things too complicated. Maybe you've even started to believe that your tendency to analyze, question, and replay situations in your mind is some kind of flaw. But what if I told you that overthinking isn't the weakness everyone makes it out to be? What if, hidden beneath all that mental noise, are some of the rarest and most valuable psychological traits a person can have? Psychology shows us that people who overthink aren't broken or anxious by default. They're actually wired differently in ways that give them unique advantages most people never develop. Today, we're going to explore 5 rare traits that overthinkers possess. Traits that reveal why your mind works the way it does, and why that's actually something worth celebrating. The first rare trait overthinkers have is exceptional pattern recognition. Your brain doesn't just process information. It searches for connections, meanings, and hidden structures in everything you encounter. While others might see isolated events, you see threads linking them together. You notice when someone's tone changes slightly, when a situation doesn't quite add up, or when something feels off, even if you can't immediately explain why. Research indicates that this heightened pattern recognition comes from increased activity in the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for complex thinking and analysis. Overthinkers are constantly running simulations in their minds, asking what if and why, until they find the underlying logic. This is why you might replay conversations looking for subtext, or why you can sense when someone's words don't match their emotions. Here's a relatable example. Imagine a friend cancels plans at the last minute with a vague excuse. Most people might accept it and move on, but you're analyzing their recent behavior, remembering they've seemed distant lately, wondering if you said something wrong 3 weeks ago. While others might call this overthinking, you're actually piecing together a pattern that could reveal something important about the relationship. And often, you're right. That instinct you have, it's not paranoia. It's your brain protecting you by recognizing patterns before they become problems. The second rare trait is profound empathy and emotional intelligence. Overthinkers don't just think about situations, they think about people. You spend so much time analyzing human behavior, motivations, and emotions that you've developed an almost intuitive understanding of what others are feeling, sometimes even before they know it themselves. Psychology shows that people who engage in reflective thinking tend to score higher on measures of empathy. This is because overthinking often involves perspective taking, imagining how others might interpret your words or actions, considering their feelings and reactions. You're not just living your own experience, you're mentally inhabiting other people's experiences too. Think about the last time you sent a text message. How many times did you rewrite it? How much time did you spend considering how it might be received, what tone it conveyed, whether it could be misinterpreted? Most people fire off messages without a second thought. But you're thinking about the person on the other end, their current state of mind, their sensitivities, the context of your relationship. This isn't weakness. This is emotional intelligence in action. You care deeply about how your words and actions affect others, and that makes you someone who can connect with people on a level most never reach. The third rare trait overthinkers possess is creative problem-solving ability. All that mental energy you spend analyzing situations isn't wasted. It's actually training your brain to approach problems from multiple angles, to see solutions others miss, to think several steps ahead. Research indicates that divergent thinking, the ability to generate multiple solutions to a problem, is closely linked to reflective and analytical thinking patterns. Overthinkers naturally engage in mental rehearsal, running through different scenarios and outcomes before taking action. While this can sometimes lead to decision paralysis, it also means that when you do act, you've often considered possibilities that others haven't even thought of. Here's what this looks like in real life. Let's say there's a conflict at work between 2 colleagues. Most people might see it as a simple disagreement and suggest they just talk it out. But your overthinking mind has already analyzed the power dynamics at play, the unstated resentments that might be fueling the conflict, the different communication styles involved, and the various ways the situation could unfold depending on how it's handled. You can see the chessboard while others are still looking at individual pieces. This makes you invaluable in complex situations that require nuanced understanding and strategic thinking. The fourth rare trait is heightened self-awareness. Overthinkers spend an enormous amount of time in their own heads, examining their thoughts, motivations, fears, and behaviors. While this can sometimes tip into harsh self-criticism, it also creates a level of self-knowledge that most people never achieve. Psychology shows that metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking, is a key component of emotional maturity and personal growth. Overthinkers are constantly engaged in this process. You question why you reacted a certain way. You examine your own biases. You're aware of your patterns and triggers in ways that allow you to understand yourself deeply. For example, when you make a mistake, you don't just feel bad about it. You analyze why it happened, what internal factors contributed, what you can learn from it. You might replay an awkward social interaction dozens of times, but in doing so, you're also learning about your social anxieties, your communication patterns, your insecurities. This self-examination, while sometimes painful, is actually the foundation of genuine self-improvement. You can't change what you don't understand, and overthinkers understand themselves better than most. The fifth and perhaps most powerful rare trait is philosophical depth and meaning-seeking. Overthinkers don't just accept things at face value. You question everything, searching for deeper meaning, purpose, and truth. While others might be content with surface-level explanations, your mind keeps digging, asking why things are the way they are, what it all means, how it fits into the bigger picture. Research indicates that people who engage in existential thinking and meaning-making tend to develop richer internal lives and stronger value systems. Overthinkers are natural philosophers, constantly grappling with questions about identity, purpose, morality, and existence. This is why small talk often feels exhausting to you, why you crave deeper conversations, why you need to understand the why behind everything. Think about how you process experiences differently than others. Someone might enjoy a movie and move on. You're still thinking about it days later, analyzing the themes, questioning the character motivations, connecting it to broader ideas about human nature. This isn't overthinking for the sake of it. This is your mind's way of extracting meaning and wisdom from everything you encounter. You're building a complex understanding of life that gives you perspective, depth, and the ability to find significance in what others might dismiss as ordinary. Now, does overthinking come with challenges? Absolutely. The same traits that give you these rare abilities can also lead to anxiety, decision paralysis, and mental exhaustion. But here's what's important to understand. The goal isn't to stop overthinking entirely. It's to recognize these traits for what they are, strengths that need to be managed, not flaws that need to be eliminated. Your pattern recognition keeps you safe and helps you navigate complex social dynamics. Your empathy makes you someone people trust and confide in. Your creative problem-solving makes you invaluable in situations that require nuanced thinking. Your self-awareness gives you the foundation for genuine growth. And your philosophical depth gives your life meaning and richness that others often search for but never find. If you're an overthinker, you're not broken. You're not too sensitive or too complicated. You have a mind that processes the world at a different level, that sees connections and meanings others miss, that cares deeply about understanding and getting things right. That's not a curse. That's a gift. And the world needs people like you, people who think deeply, feel deeply, and care deeply. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights into the unique ways your mind works and why the things you thought were weaknesses might actually be your greatest strengths. Thank you for watching.